What invention is so good that it actually can't be improved upon? I've heard the pincetta machine in bowling alleys has never had a redesign. It was perfect already. P-trap, a simple elegant way to prevent odor from coming into your house via sink, toilet, etc. A mirror is as good as it gets for its usage. The XLR cable. Until they can beam something directly into your head, we kind of hit a dead end for perceived sound. The simplicity of what a cable can do by allowing both AC and DC power to flow through, so you can power and draw signal from a microphone. Plus the fact it's so simple to remove the noise you get from outside interference makes it even more genius. Paperclip. Last major patent was in the 1880s. Those bones they use for tanning leather, people have tried using all sorts of different materials, but bone always works best apparently. Edit. I remember this very vaguely from years ago, so I can't find the thing I learned it from anymore. But here's an article about finding the tools from Neanderthal times made leather working tools like those in use today. 1.13542. Also check the replies. There are some actually smart people who know more than I do about it. Cast iron skillet Est 1707. The brick. It has been made of mud, then mud with straw, then mud with clay, then finally with clay alone. That is as far as progress has taken the brick in the guess 8,000 years since it was invented, and it is still in use today. Someone, lost in the obscurity of ancient history, realized that you couldn't build really strong stone structures with irregularly shaped small natural stones, and hewing huge lumps of stone into regular shapes was just ridiculously hard work. That person also observed that mud that fell into a fire was left hardened when the fire died down. So they figured that if you shaped mud into regular shapes, big enough to carry one in each hand, you would have all the advantages of small irregular stones and large geometrically carved stones, but with none of the drawbacks of either. This thought must have taken a second to dawn on the inventor. The practical work to prove the concept must have taken a weekend, at most. Perhaps a week or two to get the shape just right. And here we are, thousands of years later, and the damn thing has barely changed at all. Pizza. You can change it up, you can ruin it, and you can fold it half like a crazy calzone munching madman, but you can't beat perfection. I'd say nail clippers. Rich and poor people will use the same thing to clip their nails. Zipper. Rubber bands. They work. Most professional classical music instruments are already in their final stage like piano and violin. Edit. Wording. The pocket. The spoon is a pretty incredible invention. It can often sub as a fork or a knife, and it has a great name. The basic sewing needle. It really hasn't changed in thousands of years. There is no need for change. The soda can. The physics behind it have been perfected. There is a cool YouTube video about it. The toilet S-bend. We would still be throwing our Hershey soldiers out the window without it. Invented in 1775 and still used today. Source: BBC 41,188,465 and Critton from Red Dwarf. Edit: No Owen Critton. That mini trident you use to scratch your back, man, that's the best invention of human race. A knife. It can do anything. Windshield wipers. My engineering professor always lectured us on how perfect the design is and how the new changes made are strictly aesthetic and don't work any better. Plates. You can get the ones that don't smash. It's too good. Edit: Why is this my most upvoted thing on Reddit? Why? But thank you all for your upvotes. The steam turbine. It is such a useful way to convert heat into electricity that it would not be surprising to see one strapped to a fusion reactor if one ever get built. I was going to say a shovel, but it looks like people have already said spoons. What is a spoon but a very small shovel? What is a shovel but a very large spoon? Are you asking if there's an invention that does its job so well that nothing else can do the same job better, like how a light bulb can give off more light than a candle, but so far we haven't produced anything that emits light better than LEDs? Or are you asking if there's an invention that perfectly solves a specific problem, like if you want to keep dry while walking in the rain, your best choice is an umbrella? Things that come to mind are AM/FM radio, it is about as efficient as it's going to get. The pencil and pencil sharpener, I don't really see how they can improve them. The match and lighter, the umbrella, the hammer, the bucket, the TV remote, the fishing pole, the hinge, the spring. Edit. Wow. I'm so surprised how much debate there is about the TV remote. I just thought of it, and the other things I mention on their most basic principles, and the evolution of the items. How did the hammer come to be as we know it? Ancestors of man coming across a problem which required the use of blunt force, and uses a stone. The stone is eventually attached to a handle for more control. The stone is eventually replaced with metal, likely bronze, formed with a more flat and even shape, to ensure equal force is applied over a given area as well as more even wear. Also not having to worry about the metal breaking into shards like a stone. The way of attaching the hammerhead to the handle went from tying with strips of leather to wedges. The handle went from bone to wood to composite materials, and continuously redesigning the handle for the most firm and ergonomic grip. The metal went from bronze to iron to steel. Also somewhere down the line a claw was put on it to allow you to remove and reset the nail. You need to apply blunt force to something. Your first go-to item is likely to be a hammer. Honestly, I don't see how you can make any more advancements to the hammer. The TV remote has gone as far as it can go. It started as a simple 4-button design, channel higher, channel lower, volume, and on-off. More features were added over the years: mute, last, menu, info, record, fast forward, rewind, etc. etc. Now they are moving to voice control and apps, so while I don't think TV remotes will be completely phased out, I see no more improvements to them. Touchscreen. Why bother? Matches, can you get them to burn slower? Lighters, fluid-based lighters, lead to electric and rechargeable. Are we gonna make them solar next? Pencil and pencil sharpener. Some people say mechanical pencil is superior. I disagree. It's an alternative, but not necessarily better. Mechanical pencil lead is very fragile and doesn't glide on the paper like the wooden pencil does. The pencil sharpener, be it electric or the hand crank mechanical, shapes the pencil to a fine point to use as much of the pencil as you comfortably can. AM/FM radio is affected by weather conditions, obstructions between the broadcast and the receiver, and the curvature of the earth. Repeaters allow for signals to travel farther for the purpose of simulcasting, but there's a reason why satellite radio is becoming the go-to format. The bucket, you added a handle for easier carry, regardless of shape, size, the material it's made out of, or the material inside the bucket. All buckets are made for the purpose of holding, containing something. I'm not trying to say that these things are the be all end all for their intended purposes. Say you want to catch fish, obviously with one fishing pole, you can only catch fish one at a time, while with a fishing net you can catch many fish at once. So obviously you would want a net more than a pole. The fishing pole's design isn't likely to improve. What more can be done for it? Look at unnecessary inventions like fireworks. There's nothing to improve about them, because they serve no purpose to begin with. They solve no real problems. There's nothing beneficial about them,